Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's so nice to have you with us this evening. I'm trying a new idea for our layout of the screen. So please do let me know if there's any trouble. I will try to watch the chat. Shabbat Shuva, this weekend, is the Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, is the Sabbath of return, right? Our returning to the right way, our returning to the right path. And with it comes a few additions in the Amidah, which will be highlighted for you when we get to that point. But again, Shabbat Shalom. I'm glad you're with us. We join together. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Help me perfect my ways of loving and caring. Inspire me to make myself whole, so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and peace. We continue together with the lighting of the Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. We continue together with Hine Matov. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. How good and how pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together. We continue with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. Shemor v'zachor, b'dibur echad. Hishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shemo tiferet ve'litila. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, Lechu Venelcha, Ki Mekor HaBeracha, Merosh Mikedem Nesucha, Sof Maaseh B'man Shabbat Tehila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva ore kumi uri, uri, shir beri, kavod Adonai, alaik nigla, lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. We rise in body or spirit as we welcome the Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. Shabbat shalom to everyone who's joined us. The only way we know who is with us is if you drop something in the chat. So do let us know you're here, and Shabbat shalom to all of you. We continue together with Mizmor Shir, Psalm 92, a psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunarcha balelot. Ale asur ve'ale navel, ale higayon bechinor. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Ki samachtani Adonai b'fo'alecha b'ma'aseh yadecha aranin. Ma gadlu ma'asecha Adonai me'od amku machshevotecha. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. We continue with yet another song as we sing Shalom Aleichem, which at one point was a table song, right? Sung around the Shabbat table, welcoming the angels to the home. We add it to our Friday night services as we welcome the angels to any place where we are. Shalom Aleichem, Malechei Hasharet, Malechei Elyon, Mi Melech Malechei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, Malachei hashalom, Malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu ni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Seitchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. We continue together with the Chatzi Kaddish as we mark this moment of transition from our psalms and songs of the early service to the Baruch Hu. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechonu v'yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, ubizman kariv, bimeru, amen. Yeshmei Rabba mevorach, leolam olam me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitale, v'yithalal, shemei d'kodashah, Brichu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'meru, amen. We continue with Noah Aronson's Kavanah as we prepare for the Baruch Hu. We rise in body or spirit. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yilla lie lie lie, yilla lie lie lie, yilla lie lie lie, yilla lie lie lie. Yilla lie lie lie, yilla lie lie lie, yilla lie lie lie, yilla lie lie lie. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. Leolam vaed. Yilla lie lie lie, 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 yilla lie lie lie. We read together. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night, and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzivaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We are loved by an unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved by an unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved by an unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. We join together in the Shema, the watchword of our faith. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha. Vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu Beinenecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihyot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. We read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We join together in Michamocha, our song of redemption. Yai lai lai yai lai la 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 yai lai 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 ya la 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 yai lai lai yai lai la 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 yai lai 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 ya la 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora tehilot hosei feleh nora tehilot hosei feleh. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam ze Elianu ve'amru ze Elianu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad hazak mimenu baruch atah Adonai ga'al Yisrael. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. we read together our blessing of Hashkivenu. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue together with Vishamru, our celebration of Shabbat. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein, Bnei Yisrael, oti leolam. Vishamru, Bnei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim bet haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi, Shavat vayinafash, v'shamru, v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. As we prepare for the Amidah, the Tefillah, our standing prayer, we rise in body or spirit. And I invite you to join with me in some deep breaths. As we release tension from the week. Open up our eyes. Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes. Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Adonai sifatai tiftahu fi yakid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Vekonei Hakol V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot Umevi Gula Lifnei V'Neihem Liman Shemo B'Ahava Zochreinu Lechaim Melech Hafetz B'Chaim V'chotvenu B'Sefer HaChaim L'mancha Elohim Chaim Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav LaHoshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Berofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Baal Givurot Umido Melech Melech Meimid Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua Michamocha Abharachamim Zocher Yitzurav L'chaim Berachamim V'ne'emana Talachayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh V'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yalucha Selah Baruch Atah Adonai HaMelech HaKadosh. You may be seated. We read together. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied at the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch Atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch Atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha bir'ah na'avod. We read together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch Atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulcha Na'eh Lahodot. We continue together with Shalom Rav, our prayer for peace. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha livarech et Amcha Yisrael. Bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. We take a moment for silent prayer, the words of your heart, or there's some quotes from Justice Ginsburg, Zichron Livracha, on the screen. Yehiyu liratzon imrefi, vehegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri. Vegoali, Vegoali. Ose shalom bimroma, Huyase shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael, V'imru, Imru, Amen. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Our thoughts turn to those in our community, in our families, in our hearts, in our world who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, or of spirit. If there's someone you're thinking of and you'd like to share their name, please feel free to do so in the chat. congregation is thinking of Al, Iris, Nora, Amy, Rania, Dennis, Rick, Hillary, Judy, Haley, Fiona, Susan, Sue, and Al, Sam, Rena. Nancy, Mark, Galen's mother, Anne, Alyssa, Allison, Carla, Sarah, and Ethan. We hold all those named and unnamed in our hearts as we join together in Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. It has been exactly 1 week since the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Zichrona livracha. May her memory be for a blessing. I've cried tears for her, a woman I never met, but who devoted her life to the betterment of the citizens of this country. However we view the work that she did, each one of us has had our lives changed because of the work she did, as a lawyer, as a professor, and as a judge. Therefore, I thought this evening I would share some of Ginsburg's own words and some of the teachings from our tradition in her memory. A child of immigrants who attended both Reform and Orthodox congregations before her family settled into membership at a conservative congregation, she always remembered where she came from. In remarks written in 2004 and delivered at the U.S. Holocaust Museum, Ginsburg said, "I take pride in and draw strength from my heritage. As signs in my chambers attest, a large silver mezuzah on my doorpost, a gift from the Shulamith School for Girls in Brooklyn. On 3 walls, in artists' renditions of Hebrew letters, the command from Deuteronomy, Tzedek, Tzedek, Tirdof, justice, justice shall you pursue." Those words are ever present of reminders of what judges must do that they may thrive. She also spoke at various points about those Jewish women specifically who inspired her, including in 2018 when she accepted the inaugural Genesis Lifetime Achievement Award in Israel. She spoke of 2 women, Emma Lazarus, whose poem is found on the Statue of Liberty, and Henrietta Zold, founder of Hadassah, the Women's Zionist organization. In these same remarks that she spoke of these inspiring women, Ginsburg wrote, "I am a judge, born, raised, and proud of being a Jew. The demand for justice, for peace, for enlightenment runs through the entirety of Jewish history and Jewish tradition. I hope that in all the years I have the good fortune to continue serving on the bench of the Supreme Court of the United States, I will have the strength and courage to remain steadfast in service of that demand." I believe she worked every day of her life with these beliefs as her driving force. Her life's work began early. In 1946, at the age of 13, she wrote the following message in her synagogue's bulletin under the title, "One People." The war has left a bloody trail and many deep wounds not too easily healed. Many people have been left with scars that take a long time to pass away. We must never forget the horrors which our brethren were subjected to in Bergen-Belsen and other Nazi concentration camps. Then, too, we must try hard to understand that for righteous people, hate and prejudice are neither good occupations nor fit companions. Rabbi Alfred Bettelheim once said, "Prejudice saves us a painful trouble, the trouble of thinking." In our beloved land, families were not scattered, communities not erased, nor our nation destroyed by the ravages of the World War. Yet, dare we be at ease? We are part of a world whose unity has been almost completely shattered. No one can feel free from danger and destruction until the many torn threads of civilization are bound together again. We cannot feel safer until every nation, regardless of weapons or power, will meet together in good faith, the people worthy of mutual association. There can be a happy world, and there will be once again, when men create a strong bond towards one another, a bond unbreakable by a studied prejudice or a passing circumstance. Then and only then shall we have a world built on the foundation of the fatherhood of God and whose structure is the brotherhood of man. These words are powerful even now. All the more so for me was learning that as a child she would hide in the bathroom at school to read so that she would not be teased. And that she was often the service leader at her summer camp, earning her the nickname of Camp Rabbi. Though after the death of her mother she was told that as a woman she had no place reading Kaddish, she continued to find strength in her Jewish identity, and her husband Morty raised their children as proud Jews. Ginsburg spoke of the support and love she and her husband had for one another often. One of my favorite quotes she shared was the following: "If you have a caring life partner, you help the other person when that person needs it. I had a life partner who thought my work was as important as his, and I think that made all the difference for me." May each of us be blessed to have found or to find a caring life partner. Prior to being appointed to the Supreme Court by President Clinton in 1993, Ginsburg was a professor of law at Rutgers, co-founded the ACLU's Women's Rights Project, and was appointed as a judge in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit in 1980. The film, On the Basis of Sex, chronicles her early years in her first major case. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. Justice Ginsburg was well known for her written dissents as a justice of the Supreme Court. She is quoted as saying, "Dissents speak to a future age. It's not simply to say my colleagues are wrong and I would do it this way. But the greatest dissents do become court opinions, and gradually, over time, their views become the dominant view." This view of the role of dissents is also found in the Mishnah in Eduyot 1:5, which reads as follows: "And why do they record the opinion of a single person among the many, when the halakha, the law, must be according to the opinion of the many? So that, if a court prefers the opinion of the single person, it may depend on him. For no court may set aside the decision of another court, unless it is greater than it in wisdom and in number. If it was greater than it in wisdom, but not in number but not in wisdom, it may not set aside its decision, unless it is greater than it in wisdom and in number." I often teach that it is remarkable that our tradition keeps both the majority and minority opinion recorded. It is because in so many instances, the majority opinion is the only one that matters. Justice Ginsburg knew this was not so. Our tradition even goes so far as to have a dissent about the discussion of dissents. Eduyot 1:6, the following passage, reads as follows: "Rabbi Judah said, 'If so, why do they record the opinion of a single person among the many to set it aside? So that if a man shall say, Thus have I received the tradition, it may be said to him, according to the refuted opinion of that individual, did you hear it?'" This shows the lengths to which our ancestors wished to record every opinion. But our understanding of this teaching, this law, does not end with the Mishnah. In the Mishnah Torah, Maimonides wrote that without a dissent, you cannot convict a person. This is because unanimity is not to be trusted. Every person does not have the same view or understanding of an event. They cannot have the same view or understanding of an event. Dissent is essential to justice. Justice Ginsburg believed in justice. She believed in working every single day to make our world a better place. She loved her job and worked tirelessly at it. She worked every day to help repair our world, participating in the Jewish call of Tikkun Olam. In the same 2004 speech, as I cited earlier, at the U.S. Holocaust Museum, she stated, "In striving to drain dry the waters of prejudice and oppression, we must rely on measures of our own creation, upon the wisdom of our laws and the decency of our institutions, upon our reasoning minds and our feeling hearts. And as a constant spark to carry on, upon our vivid memories of the evils we wish to banish from our world. In our long struggle for a more just world, our memories are among our most powerful resources." May her words and deeds continue to inspire us. May her words and deeds lead us to a more just society. In conclusion, it is traditional to recite psalms in memory of the one who has died. I dedicate this recitation of Psalm 90 to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. May she rest in peace, and may her memory be a blessing. O God, you have been our refuge in every generation. Before the mountains came into being, before you brought forth the earth and the world, from eternity to eternity, you are God. You return us to dust. Your decree, return, you mortals. For in your sight, 1,000 years are as yesterday when it has passed, as a watch in the night. You engulf us in sleep. We are like grass that renews itself. At daybreak it flourishes anew. At dusk it withers and dries up. The span of our life is 80 years and 10, or given strength, 80 years. But the best of those years have trouble and sorrow. They pass by speedily, and we are in darkness. Teach us, therefore, so to number our days, that we may attain a heart of wisdom. Turn to us, O God. Show mercy to your servants. Satisfy us at daybreak with your steadfast love, that we may sing for joy all our days. Let your deeds be seen by your servants, your glory by their children. May your favor, O God, be upon us. Establish the work of our hands, that it may long endure. We rise in body or spirit as we continue with the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit gdula liotzer breshit. Shelo asanu kue haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama. Shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. Ve'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Shehu nota shamayim ve'yosed haaretz u'moshev yikaro b'shamayim ima'al u'shchinatu zo begov hei meromim hu Eloheinu einod emet malkeinu efes zulato. Kakatuv b'torato v'yadat hayom v'hashevota elevavecha ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת, אין עוד, אין עוד. We continue together. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love to each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. You may be seated. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. Our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us as we prepare to recite the Mourner's Kaddish. If you have names to add for your site, please feel free to do so in the chat. We are remembering Julius Albert, Milton Brower, Samuel Cohen, Harvey Kamer, Margaret A. Dennenfeld, Charles Fisher, Frank Friedland, Lowell Jeanbach, Florence Gershenson, Paul Ernst Hartenstein, Alice Katz, Goldie Kerman, Minette Halpern-Leba, David Lozer, James McDonald, Ada Mostgofsky, Charlotte Nelson, Mildred Ragazzino, Rosalind Rezeg, Leonard Z. Sachs, Fred Sellin, Murray Shapiro, Clara Siegel, Leon Slavin, Seymour Slater, Eleanor Skolnick, Shirley Snyderman, Ruth Stein, Eugene Goldberger, David Molnar, Lawrence Pritkin Nagel, James Greenman Hendricks. We rise in body or spirit as we continue with the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayed Beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lomei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudashah brechu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. A few announcements. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. on Zoom, Shabbat services, followed by text study. We're continuing with our study of the book of Samuel. Sunday, there is religious school, virtually, but there is religious school Sunday morning. Sunday evening, 7:30 here on YouTube is our Kol Nidre service. We hope many of you will join us. My sermon is entitled The Four C's. So I hope you'll come to join learn what the 4Cs are. Monday morning, 10 a.m. here on YouTube is our morning service, including a message from the TBI presidents, and a full Torah service. The rest of the Yom Kippur schedule is long and involved. It includes some things on YouTube and some things streamable and some things on Zoom. So please do look at our schedule on the website. And any questions, please do email admin@templebneiisrael.com. And the weekly email will be postponed till Tuesday since Monday is Yom Kippur. So more information will come out on Tuesday about services next week as we begin our celebration of Sukkot. Book Club is meeting in a few weeks. They're reading The Jew and the Lotus. If anyone would like to join, I'm sure Carrie would love to hear from you. Our trail is open for meditation and walking. Please do feel free to come walk it, meditate, contemplate. It is always a big crowd pleaser in normal years in Yom Kippur, and we're thrilled to be able to offer it all 10 days. It will be up until Tuesday. I think that's everything I'm going to mention. We are going to conclude together with Hashivenu Adonai, a high holiday melody. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, Venashuva, Venashuva, Chadesh, Chadesh, Yameinu kakedem. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, Venashuva, Venashuva, Chadesh, Chadesh, Yameinu kekedem. Return us, Eternal One, let us return. Renew our days as you have done of old. Shabbat Shalom. Have a wonderful weekend.